Live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back as we wrap up hour number one. Get you set for Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin in the garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She's in the studio, folks. I'll be honest with you. She's just a contradiction as she sits here in the studio. She has on a vest, a long sleeve shirt with a long sleeve shirt underneath it, and shorts. She's a contradiction. Well, that's what she said. She's prepared for today, folks, and that's what I did. I put on long pants, but thin long pants, and a golf shirt. Well, why didn't you put on a long sleeve shirt? That's what I was asked. Why didn't you put on a long sleeve shirt? It's going to be 72 today. There's no reason for a long sleeve shirt. Hey, Chairman Eric Cummings of the Marion County School Board says that they're going to take up a discussion on Thursday at the workshop at 9 a.m. about whether they should reinstate a mask mandate now that COVID-19 is spreading rapidly again countywide. Since the last week of school before winter break, countywide COVID-19 cases have reported by the Florida Department of Health have increased tenfold from 145 from the week ending December 9th to 1,500 for the week ending December 30th. Meanwhile, the state is reporting the county positivity rate has climbed from 3% for the week ending December 9th to 17.4% for the week that ended last week. The positivity rate was about above 30 in August. The school board enacted a mask mandate then that gave parents the right to opt their children out of wearing a face covering. In October, when the cases improved to fewer than 100 cases per 100,000, the positivity rate fell below 10%. The school board rescinded the order. Cummins says the rate was the positivity rate is approaching 20%, and he wanted to think about whether they should bring the mask mandate back or not. So they're going to have an open discussion at the workshop on Thursday at 9 a.m. about whether they should bring back the mask mandate in the Marion County school system. This is while Omicron is breaking out. I know two people in my close inner circle that both have, three people, that have gotten COVID in the last 3 weeks. But they all say, every one of them I talked to said, I asked them what's the symptom. One of them has been fully vaccinated. Two of them have been fully vaccinated. One is not. I asked them what the symptoms were. They all three said the same thing. It's like we've had the flu. We had, fever, lethargy. They were lethargic. They lost their sense of taste, lost their sense of smell. And then they were in the bed for 3 days with chills and body aches and all over general sickness. And that's what the Omicron variant is. Or is there an Omicron? Some people are saying, is there an Omicron variant? Or have they just taken the flu this year and named it the Omicron variant? Because the Omicron variant seems to be very flu-like. It's not as dangerous. The hospitalizations aren't as many. The death rate is nil. People are just really, really sick with flu-like symptoms. There are some people now that are wondering aloud, on pundits wondering aloud, whether the Omicron variant is really just the flu, rename the Omicron variant to keep the hysteria going. I think that's for you to decide. I would not put anything past the federal government, though, in any of this. And by the way, I wouldn't have put anything past Donald Trump's federal government either, okay? I wouldn't have put anything past the federal government all the way since, John Quincy Adams stole the election from Andrew Jackson in 1824. From that point on, government was not to be trusted in the United States. That's why the checks and balances system are so important. Well, now there are some people wondering aloud if this Omicron variant is really the Omicron variant or is it just a flu and it's a bad flu season. I don't know if that's true. I've never seen people catch the flu, 400, 500,000 cases in 2 weeks. I've never seen that. So it doesn't seem like the flu to me. It seems like it is a strain of the COVID that is just not as dangerous as the other strains, but highly contagious. That's what gets me about this, is how contagious it is. Because I hadn't seen a flu outbreak where we've had 400, 500,000 cases in like 3 weeks. And that's what's happened here. Isn't it just amazing how small, how vast the world is? The world is so large that if you went around the center at the equator and you took in a car and you drove around the equator, it's a little over 25,000 miles around. So let's put that in perspective. 25,000 miles. That's like if you traversed from New York to Los Angeles. Okay? That's roughly 4,000 miles. It's like if you went 6.5 times back and forth. 6 times. One time there, so round trip, you went 3.5 round trips. That would get you, if you drove from New York to L.A. 3.5 times round trip, that is roughly the circumference of the earth. That's a long way. Yet this Omicron variant started in South Africa, supposedly, and within weeks had traveled the globe. I don't think that's what Jules Verne meant when he said around the world 80 days. I don't think that's what he meant, because this went around the world in like 14 days. Of course, Jules Verne was in a hot air balloon. Jules Verne's folks were in a hot air balloon, so that may have had something to do with it. But this Omicron variant has shown you how small the world is, because in less than 3 weeks, it went from South Africa to worldwide. Not like ZZ Top said, I'm nationwide, no, worldwide. But in the United States, it has gone, like ZZ Top said, nationwide. And it's highly contagious, and it puts people down. It's not killing people at a rate that's alarming, but it is taking people off their feet and knocking them back for 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days. It's not to be taken lightly. And I disagree with the people out there that say, well, it's just what happened. It's just a bad case of flu, and they've named it Omicron. I've never seen the flu spread this fast. Of course, I'm a person that thinks the flu is only spread through eating Cadbury eggs. So what do I know? Look, all I know is at 15, I was feeling fine. I ate a Cadbury chocolate cream egg at about 9:30 in the morning. As we were leaving to go to the mall, I was meeting my buddies to go to the mall. On the way out, I grabbed a Cadbury egg off the counter and ate it on the way out of the house. I got to the mall about 45 minutes into my trip at the mall. I started feeling hot, like I had a fever or something, flushed. About 2 hours in, my buddy looked at me and goes, dude, you're red as a beet. We need to get you home. They got me back to my house. My mom gets the thermometer out. I'm 15, puts it in my mouth to see what my temperature is. 102.6. Rushed me to the hospital. I ended up in intensive care for 10 days from the flu. I was feeling fine. I ate the Cadbury egg. I got the flu. There you go. There's my logic. It's my logic. Take a break. Come back. Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, in the house for In the Garden. Right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News.
Children ages 12 to 15 are now eligible to receive a Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine booster shot. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced Monday it's also shortening the time from 6 months to 5 months between being fully vaccinated to being able to receive a booster. Dr. John Brownstein spoke to Good Morning America.
Even at the best children's hospitals in the United States with state-of-the-art care, some children who become infected with this virus will die from it.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will also weigh in on the Pfizer booster later this week. A judge has ordered charges dropped against 2 Bureau of Prisons guards who admitted falsifying records after Jeffrey Epstein's jail suicide. Tova Noel and Michael Thomas admitted their guilt in May in exchange for having the charges dismissed if they followed the agreement's rules for 6 months. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Wayne Alaroot. It's official. Inflation is at its highest level since the 1980s, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. What most people don't know is that it's actually much worse. Inflation may be higher now than the 1980s since the new measurements exclude food and energy. Gas prices up 58%, energy up 33%. What can you do about it? Protect yourself and your family. Only gold, silver, and other hard assets give you true protection. My friends at Tangible Investments guarantee the absolute lowest prices on precious metals. Check them out at TII1.com or call 800-300-8441. Tangible Investments has 40 years of experience and billions, that's with a B, billions in transactions. Call 800-300-8441 if you want help with gold, silver, platinum. They guarantee you the best prices plus excellent service. Call Tangible Investments now, 800-300-8441 or visit TII1.com. They also provide free verbal appraisals.
New Year's Day started.
Time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. More details have been announced on the Smucker's plant that is going to be built near Birmingham, Alabama during the next 2 years. Smucker's new manufacturing facility at the Jeff Met Industrial Complex in Birmingham will mark the third dedicated to Uncrustable sandwiches, along with the facilities they have in Scottsville, Kentucky, and Longmont, Colorado. Smucker said the continued demand for the frozen handheld sandwiches has driven a brand growth over time to more than $500 million in annual net sales, demonstrating double-digit net sales growth annually over the past decade. The Alabama facility has a complete expansion of the Longmont location, will support the company's strategy to more than double its current production capacity. With the increased capacity, the company said they expect to grow the Uncrustables brand over the next 5 years to $1 billion in annual sales. Smucker and the 3 phases of construction will occur in multiple years, creating about 750 jobs when they're all ready, but they're going to start up in January of this year. Alabama plays host to an impressive roster of world-class corporate partners, and we're excited to add the J.M. Smucker Company to that lineup, that according to the Department of Commerce in Alabama.
Hi, I'm Greg Peterson of the Peterson Farm Brothers. If you've seen our videos, you know we're proud to be farmers. Farming can be dangerous. Never assume location or depth of underground utilities or pipelines. Before you start any work on your farm, call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com to have underground lines located. It only takes a minute and can save your life.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
For more on today's news, we invite you to log on to southeastagnet.com. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Seasonably cold this morning, otherwise mostly sunny with a high of 73 to 76. Then partly cloudy tonight, low 55 to 60. Wednesday and Thursday both will be nice days with sunshine mixing with some clouds. High Wednesday 75 to 78. High Thursday 76 to 78. Then watch for a passing shower in the morning on Friday. High 73 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, Of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back. We are having some phone issues, so that's why you didn't get to hear Carol Ann Baldwin's music this morning, because we're trying to work on some phone issues. I'm sorry to tell you that Skype is down, so we will not be able to take phone calls during this time. Carol Ann Baldwin, I don't know what we're going to do with not being able to take phone calls.
We'll just have to keep going. We usually do. We manage. Yeah.
So you're dressed a little warm.
I am.
Waist up.
Yeah. For the for camera, it's like, okay, I'm ready.